All right, welcome back. We continue live right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW, 7 nights a week on the Borders and Borders Hotline. Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook. Ron, I want to ask you about today. Mike Tomlin pretty much dissed any topic about Le'Veon Bell. Was asked about, says, I'm not talking about it. He's not here. Nothing new to say. Sounds to me like this organization has truly just said that's enough, and we will field offers. The question is, what would you expect to get in return, and is there a way to create a little bit of a bidding market for him?
I don't know how, Bob. I mean, because somebody's got to take that franchise tag, got to have the salary cap room, got to want him, and got to be willing to give up something. I do think the organization's tired of him. It just seems like, it was business at first. Now it almost seems personal. It seems to me like he goes out of his way to thumb his nose at his teammates, his coaches, the organization. They're in training camp. He's at a strip club in Miami. They tie Cleveland. He's at a club in Miami sending out the pictures. They lose to Kansas City. He's jet skiing in Miami. It just seems to me like he's going out of his way to rub their nose in it, and I think they're tired of it. But I don't think they're going to be able to trade him. I really don't.
I think it's a tough trade to make, no doubt. But clearly their situation is, it looks like Le'Veon Bell's camp is prepared to sit out the entire season. I'm basing that on what he's doing and how he looks. I don't know.
So who's going to trade for that if he's not in shape?
He's not helping his own cause.
They're going to be able to see him before they make a deal. They're going to find out what kind of shape he is in.
Let's go to Mike in Export. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hey, Bob. How you doing? Ron, hello. It's first-time caller.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was an exciting game, fourth quarter, and the one announcer kept talking about Le'Veon Bell and it should be paid. And I thought the Steelers gave him an excellent contract.
So did I.
And he's almost bashing the Steelers for telling him to be paid. And I thought the Steelers actually were going to pay him.
I thought the same thing. I thought they were making it completely one-sided, as if the Steelers had ignored any of his requests for whatever long term. They made a nice offer to him, and he chose not to sign it. So it wasn't the Steelers. The Steelers wanted him. The Steelers have twice extended this franchise tag, which they wouldn't do unless they wanted him. They expected a long-term deal, Ron, and he's the one who said no.
But he didn't feel like he was getting the guaranteed money that he thought he deserved, and he's very principled about that. It's his right to hold out, or to not come in, not sign the tag, but I get why everybody is down on him.
Do you think he's going to get the money he wants next year?
If he's in shape, probably, yeah, because he's an extremely talented athlete.
I did too, but I also think now 1 year has gone by. You look a little bit heavy, and there's a lot of baggage involved with this guy.
Right.
You're one pot-smoking test away from being
But guys guys get hurt in training camp all year and miss a year and can come back and still be great.
I understand.
So it's not like he's been out forever, but the question is he in shape? Is he going to be ready to go?
Bill, Greensburg, you're up. Hey, Bill.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
I want to switch briefly to baseball. Archer's making it look easy tonight. Just a couple of comments. This could be the best pitching staff in the National League next year. I really believe that. Yeah. If they could get a thumper and if he'd let loose a little bit of money, this team can contend for the division next year. Also, I think they should, after watching Newman, I don't think he's ready for the big show. I think you better re-sign Jordy Mercer for 2 years until this kid gets ready. But I think this team at the end of September next year, you'll be going to PNC Park to watch the division run. What do you guys think? Goodbye.
Well, I'm with you on the pitching. I really like it. Right into the bullpen. I like it from top to bottom with Kella and Vasquez on the back end, Crick. They've been pretty good. Rodriguez and Tana. They have a pretty nice bullpen, pretty nice pitching staff overall. But, I can't get excited about them signing a big bat because that involves spending money, and when have they ever done that?
But they're going to have to because they have, and Polanco's not going to be ready for the start of the season.
Probably half of the season.
So now you're in a situation where you really need someone to come up with that bat, and he gave you some of that pop that you won't have. So here's the other thing. He brought up Jordy Mercer. In the break, ironically, I was talking to Ron about Kevin Newman. I'm not quite there yet to think he should just get the job because he's their top prospect at that position. But what about re-signing Mercer? I think
depends what his price is and what Jordy wants. I've always been a very much Jordy man. I think that he's very solid. He makes the plays. I know the metrics say he's not very good. His range isn't very good. I would not have a problem if they brought him back.
My position on that would be I'd say, hey, Jordy, go out and test the market and come back to me. Let me have one chance in case, and we'll see how it goes.
I think that's fair.
We got to take a break. We'll take it and come back with more right here at Pittsburgh CW.